Hey, what's poppin', chat? So I've realized I Loki made like a lot of Slay Spire videos, and so we're switching it up with Mimic Logic. I might need to turn this down. Uh, Options. Yeah. So this game, I don't remember what anything in the house does. Um, Hold on, there's some crap on my keyboard. Anyways, so this game is standard. I'll do. Wait, let's. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. I'll do a standard. I'll just do a standard level one to show you. Okay. So this is Mimic Logic. You got mimics, and you got logic. So up here, you know how many mimics there are. So there's one mimic. Mimics lie. So, like, the bottom row contains a mimic, the top row contains no mimics. So, they can't both be wrong, so that has to be true. The leftmost column contains a mimic, or the leftmost column contains no mimics. So, if this was false, then, hold on. The leftmost column contains no mimics. So, if this was true, that would be the mimic. Okay. But if this was true, that would be the mimic. Hmm. This is a 50-50. Leftmost contains none. But if that's true, then that's lying. But if this is the mimic, holy 50-50. Okay, the box on the left is a mimic, which means the bottom row would not contain any mimics. The box on the left isn't a mimic. The box above me is a mimic. Well, here we have the box above me is a mimic. And, yeah. And the box on the left of me is a mimic. So that's two pointing to this one. They can't both be wrong. So, yeah, and then this one isn't a mimic, so... Look at that. Optimize gear. Don't have any candy. Kick the air. Ooh, treasure! Ooh. Munch munch. Yeah, so every couple of floors there's a fight floor where you basically use your equipment to kick ass. And you can either choose to or choose not to, I think. But if you do, you get loot. Okay, the leftmost column contains no mimics. The box below me isn't a mimic. The box on the right is a mimic. So if this is telling the truth and that's telling the truth, that's not... Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Apologies if my logic goes fast. I am a very quick thinker. Yeah, so like I think every 5 floors there's a mandatory battle. Oh boy, 6 chests. The top row contains no mimics. Okay, so well here, the rightmost column contains no mimics is twice. They can't both be mimics. Or more so, if there was a mimic here, that would mean that's a mimic and that's a mimic. That leaves 3 mimics. So these are both right. The leftmost column contains a mimic. This is the mimic. The bottom row contains no mimics. Boink. 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 What do we got? What do we got? Ooh, an attack candy. Oh, the other thing. You have gut. Gut is essentially your timer. So you can't sit around forever. So you're, like, what's this say? Okay. Anyways, basically, it's your timer and, let me see, yeah, item. Yeah, and you have food to basically restore. If it runs out, I believe you die. I'm not really sure. I never gotten to that point. Okay. These both are saying the box on the left. Okay, the box on the left and the box on the right aren't mimics. That's yes. Yes, the box above me, the box on the right isn't a mimic. That's true. You are lying. Look at me go. Yay! Is this just a dirt patch? It is. Okay, so now this is a town. I believe you're... Okay. What do you have to say? Okay. Not that I needed that. Optimize gear. No, let me eat my candy first. Then sell my unequipped gear. Let's see, what do you have? Finds one non-mimic. Ooh. I think I'll just take a bunch of attack candy. Oh, there are 2 mimics. Okay. There's a mimic among the blue boxes. There is no mimic among the black boxes. There's a mimic among the red boxes. There's no mimic among the red boxes. So, see, theoretically, if this is false, that's true. There's no mimic among the red boxes. You are wrong. There is a mimic among the blue boxes. Okay. Let's see. Oh, there has to be a mimic among the blue boxes, because this can't be true and that this and that both can't be true. Well, that means that this pair right here I think has to be true, because wait, there's no mimic among the black boxes. Yeah. Because it's either gonna be this one or that one's false, and then these two can't both also be false. So there's no mimic among the red boxes. Should be false. Because yeah. Yeah, yeah. It makes sense to me. Okay, the box on the left isn't a mimic. The box on the right isn't a mimic. The box on the right is a mimic. There's a mimic among the blue boxes. The box on the left is a mimic. The top row has at least one mimic. I believe that is true. Okay, So, if this is false and that is false, there's a mimic among the blue boxes that... Okay, so I believe these have to be true. Which means this guy is lying, there is a mimic among the blue boxes, and that guy is wrong. Oh, what are you? You are... Okay. Optimize gear. Sell unequipped gear. Do I have food? I do not have food. EQ. Yeah, we attacking. Okay, let's see. There's no mimic among blue boxes. The box on the right isn't a mimic. The box above me... Okay, so, let's assume this one is wrong. Well, that would be... No. Okay, never mind. So... Well, hold on. The box on the left is a mimic. That makes that true. The box above me is a mimic. That makes that false. The box on the right isn't a mimic. That would make that false. So this has to be true. Which means this is true. Which means this is true. Which means this is true. There is no mimic among blue boxes. There's a mimic among red boxes, which is that one. Minigun. Attack plus 13 and durable. That's crazy. Oh, 7. Alright. The box on the right is not a mimic. The box on the left is not a mimic. So let's assume those are true. Diagonal upright is a mimic. That is false. The box on the right is a mimic. That's true. Diagonal down left isn't. Diagonal up right isn't a mimic. Diagonal up left is a mimic. You are false. So I hope. I am so cool. What do you have? I don't like that. I will take 5 max HP. I don't like that. Okay, top row contains no mimics. Top row contains at least one mimic. Diagonal up left is a mimic. Diagonal down right is a mimic. So, let's see. You're a mimic, which means the top row does contain a mimic. Which means no. So alright. check my... Okay. Alright, let's see. Diagonal up left is a mimic, which means... Oh, which means... That's true. The top row does not get... No. Which means you're a liar. Which means the top row doesn't have at least one mimic. Crap. Down right. Diagonal down right. Oh. I'm low-key a bit stupid. Oh, let's see. No mimic among the blue boxes. There's no mimic among the black boxes. There is a mimic among the black boxes. Twice. Well, these have to be true because given that if there wasn't a mimic among the black boxes, then it would be a mimic, but then that's a mimic among the black boxes, so this has to be true. Which means you are wrong. Which means there is a mimic among the blue boxes. No. Which means there's no mimic among the blue boxes, because that would add up to 3 mimics. There's no mimic among the black boxes, there's a mimic among the black boxes. The bottom row has at least one mimic. The box on the left, this is left, is a mimic. Rightmost column has one or more mimics. While you can never be a mimic, because if you were lying, that would be at least one in the bottom row. Which means the bottom row has at least one mimic. Which means... So, let's see. The rightmost column has one or more mimics, which means that's a mimic. Which means there's no mimic among the blue boxes, which means the box on the left is not a mimic. Did I just get a useless stone? Hold on. That's pretty funny. The box below me isn't a mimic, the box above me is a mimic. One of those is lying. Can there be a mimic among the black boxes? The box on the left is a mimic. The box above me isn't a mimic. The box above me is a mimic. I'm just gonna ball with it. Ah! I tried. I tried really hard. Let's see. Let's try this again. After I check in with someone. Alright, there's a mimic among the blue boxes. There is no mimic among the blue boxes. That is immediately a contradiction. There's a mimic among the blue boxes. There's a mimic among the black boxes. There's no mimic among the blue boxes. Okay. So, that means, let's see. So, there's no mimic, and then there is a mimic among the blue boxes. Which means there's going to be a mimic among the black boxes. If there is no mimic among the blue boxes, meaning this is a mimic, that would be true. Well, yeah. So, hold on. Let's say this is true. There is a mimic among the blue boxes. So there's no... Yeah, there is a mimic among the blue boxes. Which means there's no mimic among the red boxes, which means this must be lying. Okay. So, there is no mimic among the blue boxes. Wait. There we go. Okay, the rightmost column has one or more mimics. There's a mimic among the red boxes. Top row has at least one mimic. Box below me is a mimic. The box on the right is an... Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's see. So these two are paired because if this is a mimic, well, let's see. If this is telling the truth, that means that this... If this is telling the truth, that is false, and that means the rightmost column has one or more mimics. The box on the right is not a mimic. The box below is a mimic. The top row does not have at least one mimic, which means... I believe, so the box on the right is a mimic, the box below you is not a mimic, the top row has at least one mimic, there is a mimic among the red boxes. Nice. Yeah, magic. Let's see. Okay, the leftmost column contains no mimics. The rightmost column has one or more mimics. The bottom row has at least one mimic. Leftmost column contains no mimics. Has to be true. The rightmost column has at least one mimic. The rightmost column... Yeah? Okay. Which means there's no mimic in the bottom row. Aw, yeah. Optimize that gear. Ooh, what is that? That is... Ooh. I like that staff. The box on the right is not a mimic. Diagonal down left, I can read this time, is not a mimic. So, let's assume these are true. The box on the left is not a mimic. Or is a mimic. The diagonal upright is a mimic, yes. Diagonal down left is a mimic. I don't like how easily that fell into place. What do you know? Oh, not the massage. I don't like how it fades to pink either. That's implying sex. Ugh. Okay, the bottom row has at least one Mimic. That is you. Because if they are... Okay, well, hold on. So if both of these are lying, and the bottom row has at least no Mimics... The bottom row contains no Mimics, yes, but the top row contains Mimics. So, you are true. And you are wrong. The bottom row contains no Mimics is false. The box on the right is not a Mimic. Top row contains no Mimics, yes. Magic. Oh, I forgot to eat my candy. Optimize gear, sell unequipped gear. Ooh, big money. Let's see, do you have fun? I can make a sandwich with that. Oh, I have a cookie. Top row contains no Mimics. There's no Mimic among the blue boxes. Bottom row has it. Okay, so if this is true, the bottom row does not have one Mimic, which means these have to be true. There's a Mimic among the blue boxes. That is false. Bottom row does have at least one Mimic. The box on the left of this guy, this one, isn't a Mimic, which means this guy is a Mimic. There is a Mimic among the red boxes, and open. Sleepy! Right. So some chests just sleep. The box on the left is a Mimic. Diagonal upright is a Mimic. Clues point to he's a Mimic. There is no Mimic among the red boxes. Top row has at least one Mimic. Okay. So if you are true, that means you are clear, you are clear. You are false, you are false. Top row does have a Mimic. There is no Mimic among the red boxes, so there has to be a Mimic among the red boxes. So there is a Mimic among the red boxes. From what I can tell, these two guys are telling the truth, and that guy is the Mimic. Would you look at that? Item. HP lowered by half? That was not fun. I gotta chug some healing items now. Oh, right. I did see a book that said magic heals you by 4. Okay. Let's see. Bottom row contains no Mimic. Top row contains no Mimic, which means diagonal down left is not a Mimic. Diagonal down left is not a Mimic, which means there is a mimic among the blue boxes. The bottom row contains no mimics. Top row contains no mimics. Diagonal down left is a... Yeah, okay. Ooh, red rare item rate up. I like that. Optimal gear. Do I have... I do not. Alright. 2 mimics are hiding in black boxes. 0 mimics are hiding in black boxes. 2 mimics are hiding in blue boxes. 0 mimics are hiding in blue boxes. There's only 1 black box. This is telling a lie. Which means there are 2 mimics. 2 mimics... Oh, wait, well... Well, now, 2 mimics can't be hiding in blue boxes because that would lead to 3 mimics. So 0 mimics are hiding in blue and black boxes. Ooh, plus 7 gold from treasure. I'm gonna chug those real quick. What do I have equipped right now? Gear. I have a Delta Whip. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. There is a mimic. One mimic is hiding in a black box. There is a mimic among blue boxes. The bottom row contains no mimics. The top row has at least 1 mimic. There is no mimic among the black boxes. There is a mimic among the black boxes. That is a contradiction. So, let's see. Bottom row contains no mimics twice. Which means the top row has at least 1, which means, so that means the top row has at least 1 mimic. I think this is false, because the top row has at least 1 mimic. Let's see, if these are true, there's no mimic among the black boxes. That means there is a mimic among the blue boxes. Which means there is not a mimic among the black boxes, which means not 1 mimic is not hiding in the black boxes. Woo! Okay, I'll take it. Max HP increased by 10. Oh, these guys hit like a truck. Ooh, what are you? Want to buy a scratch lotto ticket? Yeah. Nothing. Man, you suck. I should probably get some defense candy. Optimize gear. Sell unequipped gear. Buy. No. Bunch of defense candy. I'll buy 5. And then okay. Doubly heals HP and gut. Yes. I low-key need to use the bathroom. I'm going to stop here for a minute, pause recording, and then I will be back. Alright, chat. We back on the grind. Oh, 3 mimics? There's a mimic among the red boxes. There is no mimic among the red boxes. That's a contradiction. Okay. There is no mimic among the black boxes. Which means there is a mimic among the blue boxes, because there is a mimic among the black boxes. There is a mimic among the blue boxes. So there is no... Yeah, so there is a mimic among the black boxes. Which means you're wrong. You're wrong. There is a mimic among the blue boxes. And I cannot decipher between... Well... There's a mimic among the blue boxes. No, I cannot decipher between these two. That is part of the beauty of this game. Sometimes you just can't tell. Okay. Let's see. Diagonal down right is a mimic. Diagonal upright isn't a mimic. Diagonal down left isn't a mimic. Diagonal upright isn't a mimic. So... Okay. Diagonal down left is not a mimic. The box on the left is a mimic. Diagonal up left is a mimic. So... Okay. Let's see. Diagonal down left is not a mimic. Which means this guy is a mimic. Diagonal up left is not a mimic. Diagonal upright is not a mimic. Diagonal down right... Okay. So, if he is a mimic, diagonal up left is a mimic, which means nope. Okay, so I believe it's just like that. Come on, big money, big money. Let's go. Eat all candy. Optimize gear. Oh, I can just punch this guy dead. That's crazy. So I should theoretically be optimizing gear every time I punch a dude. Okay, box on the left is a mimic, which means bottom row does not take any mimics. Bottom row has at least one mimic twice. Diagonal up left is not a mimic, which means the box on the right is a mimic. Which means the box on the left is not a mimic, which means... I might be doing... Oh, I'm not doing it too fast. Oh, I don't have any candy. Ooh. Come on, magic, magic. Ah. Let's take that weird medicine. Great. Okay. There is no mimic among the red boxes. The top row contains no mimics. There is no mimic among the black boxes. Which means there is a mimic among the blue boxes, theoretically. The top row contains no mimics, which means diagonal up left is not a mimic. Diagonal down right is not a mimic. I have, like... No, no, not really. Okay, at least I one-shot these guys. Super attack. Okay. I sure hope I find some healing items. Box on the right is not a mimic, which means there is a mimic among the black boxes. Diagonal down left is not a mimic. Bottom row does not contain mimic, which means top row does have a mimic, which means you're wrong. Ooh, hyper armor. You've opened so many treasures. Good job. 66 treasures. Whoa! Since you've opened more than 60 treasures, I'll give you 5 attack candies as a reward. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Buy 2 of those. Eat all candy. Drink you twice. Optimize gear. Sell useless gear. 10 damage to enemy in front. Oh, this is a piece of cake. I take 7 damage? Oh, piece of cake. Ooh. The piss gem. You got an amber stone. Okay, screw off. You're telling me there were 67 chests? Oh my god. You've received 20 adventure points. Level 3 has been unlocked. Oh. That was a flashbang and a half. Well, that was an experience. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Go watch my other videos.